So good evening. We are back again with another transfer video. This time we're going to talk about Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who's injured pretty much most of the season, but we are going to speak about him. He is linked to Arsenal yet again after spending all summer being linked to Arsenal and staying at Everton. But before we get into talking about Dominic Calvert-Lewin, big up to all of you lot that have subscribed to the channel. Make sure you stick a thumbs up on this video. And if you haven't checked out the previous video I dropped at 6 p.m. UK time, go and check that one back out. It was the last video on the channel, 18 minutes long. Make sure you do go and check that out. Speaking about some of the spending spree stories that are out there if Arsenal make Champions League. The war chest. Yes, we have a war chest. But there we go. Anyway, listen, we are going to speak about Calvert-Lewin. Just having a look at his statistics for this season. He is only 24. He turns 25 in about, less than a week, 6 days from now. In fact, I'm lying. 7 days from now, exactly a week today, he'll be 25 years old. He's had 5 full seasons in the Premier League after his breakthrough into the first team at Everton. And he played 11 games in his first season. But listen, this season he's only played 9 league games. He's bagged 3 goals. All 3 of them were the first 3 games of the season against Southampton, Leeds and Brighton. And he played 90 minutes in 2 of them and 70 in the third against Brighton. Since then, he fractured his toe, and he's been out most of this season with a fractured toe. He then came back, played 90 minutes in January, and then he was out again. Then he's played 2 games, 90 minutes, and then he was on the bench. Then he's played 2 more games, 72 minutes, 90 minutes. Then he was not in the squad for the Man City game, and then he played 69 minutes against Tottenham the other night in the demolition by Spurs. But I think a lot of people have been put off of Calvert-Lewin because he's been out injured so much this season. But when you look at it, he's actually played, this is his 5th full season in the Premier League, and it's the first time he's had an injury, really, and it's a fractured toe. So it's hardly a massive injury. Yes, listen, if you have a fractured toe, it's going to hamper your movement, your balance, the way you can wear shoes, football boots, etc., and you're not going to be able to perform to the highest level. But what I will say here is that is not a thing that's going to hamper him for the rest of his career. You know, yes, he might re-fracture it, but the chances of that happening are few and far between and very slim. It's not like it's an ACL or a proper bad ligament or something like that. I don't know, a real bad muscle injury that's just going to ruin his career. So listen, I like Calvert-Lewin. I think he's a very good striker. He offers something different to the strikers that we've got or had with Aubameyang and Lacazette. He's very good in the air, as we know. And I think he's got a lot better in the air. I don't know whether Duncan Ferguson's been working with him, but whenever I've seen him attack a ball in the air, he's probably one of the best in the league, if not the best in the league at attacking the ball. Maybe Ronaldo is better than him, to be fair, aerially. But Calvert-Lewin ain't far behind. And that's something that we need to have a look at because, you know, we play with players that cross the ball into the box high. And Aubameyang never used to win a header. And Lacazette even, but it's late. And Lacazette barely wins a header. So if we're going to play with that continued style of get it down the wing, whip a ball into the box, then surely we need a striker that's good in the air. Calvert-Lewin ticks that box. He's not bad at his hold-up. His passing is not great, but it's not the worst. His link-up play is pretty good. Like I say, he's not the worst. He's not the best. He's kind of, he could get better on that. But listen, he is only 25 next week. So he has still got, maybe 7 years ahead of him at the top level. Maybe worth a punt. Transfer market having valued at 45 million euros. I think he'll be a bit more than that, if I'm honest. It's in euros. So I'd say with 3 years left on this contract, about 45 million quid sounds about right. Maybe 50 mil. But if you go through how many games and goals he's scored for Everton, he's scored 56 in 182, which isn't prolific, but you've got to take into account the team that he's playing for as well, the players that he's got around him. Would he be able to up his game? I think he would. I actually, like I said, think he's a very good player. And I think that we could do a lot worse than Calvert-Lewin. Plus, not only that, like I said, this is his 5th full season in the Premier League. So he already knows the league. It's not like he needs to adapt to the pace of the league, the physicality, and all the other jargon that we could roll out off of our tongue and throw out there. I actually think that this would make sense. Again, there's other strikers that are going to be on the radar this summer. I personally like Ivan Toney. I think he is class. That boy is so talented. Ollie Watkins is another one. Can also play left wing. Ollie Watkins works the channels well. Ivan Toney, we know what you're getting with him. He'll give you everything. Great passing, great awareness, sick penalty taking, scores left foot, right foot, headers, tap-ins. Yeah, he's a sick footballer. But we do need 2 strikers this summer. I think that's pretty obvious. You know, I don't think this manager really rates Martinelli. So I don't see Martinelli being the main boy up front leading the line as such. So I do think we're going to go for 2 strikers. It's now which 2 do we go for and how much is it going to cost? Because, you know, we know that scoring goals is the hardest thing on the pitch to do. And that comes with a premium. And then if you're English, which Calvert-Lewin is, that also comes with a premium. So, you know, we're going to pay a double premium on this guy if we get him. He's an England international as well, which also comes with even more of a premium. And he's bagged 4 goals in 11 international appearances for England. So, listen, don't be put off by the fact that he's only played 9 games this season, and he's been out with a fractured toe. I wouldn't be put off by that. I think that, listen, we could do a lot worse. And taking a punt on players from other leagues is always difficult. They're going to come to a new country. They're going to have to relocate their families, their children. They're going to have to put their kids in school in a different country, the language barrier. They might get homesick, etc., etc. At least if you're Calvert-Lewin, yeah, then it's not a million miles away if his family want to stay where they are up in Liverpool to London, get a direct train, direct flight. You can drive. You know, it's not a million miles away. It's a 4-hour drive from North London to Liverpool. So I think this ticks all the boxes, if I'm honest. And he knows where the back of the net is. If we go through season by season, if we go back to last season, he bagged 16 goals last season, which when people are going to turn their nose up at Calvert-Lewin and say, oh, no, is he that good? Yeah, well, is Lacazette that good? Because has Lacazette scored that many goals in a season? Probably about the same. So, yeah, this was Lacazette that cost us 50 million, was supposed to be the superstar striker. The season before that, Calvert-Lewin scored 13 goals in the league. The season before that, he bagged 6. Or have I missed a season? I think I might have missed a season. No, I didn't. He scored 6. And then the season before that, he got 1. But listen, that was his breakthrough season. I think he's a good player. I really do. And I think that, you know, if we're going to play with Saka, Martinelli, Smith Rowe, Odegaard, etc., whichever way round you put them, I think that if we're going to keep crossing the ball into the box aerially, then you need someone who can attack the ball. There ain't many better in Europe, let alone there ain't many better in the Premier League, let alone in Europe, that can do that. So why not go and get Dominic Calvert-Lewin? If we bring Becky B back, he'll have a fashion buddy. I'd love to know your thoughts on it. Would you say Calvert-Lewin? If so, how much do you think he's worth? Me personally, 45, 50 mil. Give him a 5-year contract. Bish, bash, bosh, job done. That would be one of the 2. Then you could go and get somebody else, maybe somebody that can play alternate positions, but is a striker. I don't know, somebody like Ollie Watkins. He can play left wing, he can play up front. He don't mind being second fiddle, doesn't mind not being the main striker up front. Somebody that's going to work their nuts off, somebody that's going to run the channels. Me personally, I don't think we will buy him. I think he'll probably end up at Manchester United, if I'm honest. And Manchester and Liverpool, not a million miles apart either, are they? What, 50 miles, 60 miles, something like that? It would make more sense for him to go to Man United if he doesn't want to relocate all the way down to London. It's just down the M62, so he could drive to work. But you guys, let me know what you think. Let me know if there's any other strikers that you are interested in. Leave them in the comment section. As and when I get a chance, I'll have a little butcher's look at them. And make sure you do go and check the video out I did earlier this evening. Really good. Go and check it out. 18 minutes long. It's the last video before this one. And make sure you're checking out all the other content as well. Make sure you're sticking a like on this video, subscribing, sharing the content around. That is always important. Big up to all of you that do that. Doesn't tell me who, but it tells me how many do it every video. I can see that on the analytics. And make sure you go and check out the stream I did with Matisse and Toby earlier on today as well. That was really good. Always banter with Matisse and Toby, man. We just all rip each other apart. So make sure you can check that out. That's on Matisse's channel. It's on Matisse's channel, Matisse's channel even. But yeah, there we go. I'll be back again tomorrow. And keep your eyes peeled because there'll be another 2 uploads. We're out of here, people. Have a blessed evening. Arteta out.